Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Roundtable Discussions. My name is Collin Delayed.
I'm Nick Green.
And I'm Kevin Leandro.
Today, we're going to be talking about the highly anticipated Deadpool. After his god-awful piece of shit appearance in X-Men Origins Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds finally gets to do the character right. So, what's this movie about?
Deadpool is pretty much about what it says, the merc with the mouth. It's all about his little bit of origin story leading into his first big battle with big bad Ajax, you know. It's just an awesome movie in general. It's a great piece on, you know, different take on Marvel movies and different take on superhero movies, and, you know, kind of taking that little bit of edge and seeing where you can push it, you know.
Alright, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what you said. It's Deadpool's origin story. It's the first chapter of Deadpool. It was done pretty much the right way this time, after that really terrible cameo.
Yeah, it's just amazing how you get, back in, I think that movie came out in like 2009, how you get the character completely, utterly wrong. And then, same studio, same actor, can do it just so spot on to the comics.
Yeah.
Like, I would say this is probably the greatest adaptation of a comic book.
Yeah, like when I was watching it, it didn't feel like I was really watching a movie. Like it kind of felt like a comic book with like the panels coming to life on it, just because like most movies, you know, that are adapted from comics, it's either hit or miss with like how you're watching it. It either feels like just like, oh my god, you know, the studio, or like it's too like blockbuster, or they can play it right and play it how it's supposed to be, which is a comic book, like just on screen. And they did that perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah. One thing that Deadpool is known for is the first really popular rated R superhero movie. And for me at least, I thought it was fantastic that they actually did this movie rated R, because I couldn't see this movie as like PG-13, like censored.
No, they took a chance with the rated R, and it worked very well, especially since it wasn't a light rated R, it was a heavy rated R.
Yeah.
Like they just went all out.
Yeah, I think if they got the PG-13 rating, I think they wouldn't have done it. And also, like, I think they would have pushed off and like held out for possibly a little bit longer to see if the studio would end up coming around. Whoa. Because I don't think they would have taken a PG-13 rating, because it's not like this. You can't do PG-13 with Deadpool. Like the most tame Deadpool is still raunchy Deadpool. Like it's like no matter what, you're still gonna be going like, oh god, you know, like.
The thing is that this movie has been in development for, I think it's 11 years now, with Ryan Reynolds really wanting to make this movie.
Yeah.
The fact of, if they got a PG-13 rating, it definitely wouldn't be as good, but I feel like they still would try to like push as raunchy as a PG-13 can get, to where you wouldn't have, you know, the like headshots or like the nudity, boobs or anything.
Boobs.
But it's something that you just need to realize that this movie really is a game changer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because one thing that you're gonna see now is a lot more rated R blockbuster.
Now?
Yeah. Because the reason why this movie was successful wasn't because it's rated R, it's because it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie really could have been, you could have Deadpool been an annoying character, just wouldn't shut up, which he doesn't shut up in the movie, but like,
He's not annoying.
he's not annoying. Like,
Well, to the audience, he's not annoying.
Yeah, to the audience, but
to the other characters,
yeah,
that's a whole other story.
But that's what Deadpool's supposed to be. It's supposed to be annoying to the characters, but not the audience.
Yeah.
So, one thing I'm afraid of that studios are going to think of, make it rated R and make money, is that this movie it's rated R, and I love that it was rated R, but like what you said, it's a tasteful rated R.
I truly think they, like, without even like thinking about like R rating, they just made a movie, you know? Like 11 years ago when they started this, they probably said like, we can probably make it R rating, but they were like, let's just make a good script. And that's what I wanted from it. Like, because going in, I was nervous, to be honest. Like, it could have been boobs, boob, boob, fuck, you know, like, whatever they want, and that'd be it, you know? It could have very easily been that, but it was an amazing movie in how they actually played it out. Yeah.
They got away with a lot of insults.
Very much so.
With the insults to the studio, insults to other superheroes, the budget cuts. Just, they went all out.
They didn't really hold back, and it was kind of. I make the point of I read an interview, or heard an interview. I read the transcript of it. No, but Ryan Reynolds saying how Deadpool knows he's in a movie,
Oh yeah.
but Wade Wilson doesn't. And I just like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I just like that distinction of like he knows he's in it. Like he knows exactly what's been happening outside, like how this came to fruition.
Until they break the fourth wall in the fourth wall.
I love how they balanced Wade Wilson and Deadpool to where even though you could feel that the same characters, you're not getting the same exact kind of comedy when like he's Deadpool and when he's Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
And speaking of Wade Wilson, the love triangle. Not the triangle.
Triangle between T.J. Miller, Wade Wilson, and
the
chick.
I forgot about that.
What's the chick's name again? I'm gonna forget.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, that's right.
Vanessa.
I was gonna say, I legitimately like their relationship, Vanessa and Wade Wilson, because it doesn't feel like, oh, mushy, like, you know, like all other superhero movies where they get the girl. She's legitimately given all the insults right back at him. Like,
I love the fact that she was a hooker too.
Yeah.
But also, no.
She was.
But then again, it's not just.
They pulled a Pretty Woman, you know, like, you know,
They did.
Like, they literally did.
It's not just like let's have sex. There's actually like you can see there's chemistry between them.
Yeah, he takes her to skee ball.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome. I was like, okay,
Happy Lent.
just how much time do I get for another $4? Just like, oh, what will we do with the other 3 minutes and 30 seconds?
Cuddle.
Cuddle?
So-
I just happy Lent, yeah.
Okay, so there's Vanessa and Wade Wilson, and then there's
T.J. Miller. And
then there's
Wilson.
Weasel.
T-Wizzle.
T-Wizzle and Wade Wilson. They really were so good together. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to see them fight even though we didn't want to.
Yeah. No, like, I just like, because it didn't feel like they were in the movie when they were having their little quips at each other. Like, it just kind of felt like T.J. Miller and Ryan Reynolds, like,
Hanging out.
talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
But it doesn't even feel like improv. Like, it fits in the movie. It's just so funny. It's like, these two are just hanging out and just turned out it was funny.
yeah, like 100%. And T.J. Miller's character, I like how they set him up because it feels like he has more of a backstory and he feels like he has more of a story to come in the next movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like they gave all his story right now, just threw him at the camera and said, here he is, accept him. Like, it was kind of like setting up for maybe that little step further of what he can do to help Deadpool, like, coming further, which I think is interesting, you know, like, because there are obviously those little sidekick characters that they kind of just throw upon you and just say, accept him, you know, like just, you know, love him, I don't care, you know.
Love him!
Yeah.
But I also want to talk about Blind Al.
Oh my!
His roommate.
That was so funny just because she just it was so natural that they met at this
In a
place
laundromat.
and now they're friends. Alright, so we've been talking about how
I
this
love
movie
that.
is so awesome. Is there any complaints you guys have with the movie?
Literally
It should have been longer.
That's
It
what
should have been.
That's the
Yeah.
only
I wanted
complaint.
more.
I wanted more.
Yeah.
But because like when I first was watching, I'm like, I really wish there was more Deadpool. Then I was like, no, Deadpool's in it enough. Just I wanted this to be like a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah. No, it's very true. Because I want to, like, it never felt like there was a slow moment in it, which was kind of interesting because when it got to the credits, I was just like, it almost felt like an adrenaline rush coming down. You know, like it was just like, oh, it's over. Like, okay, you know?
I also like how really you need to see this movie twice. Not just because you're gonna be missing jokes, but more like little things like when he catches Ajax and stabs him, he doesn't react. And when you first saw it, it's like, why is that? And then when they explain his mutant power, then when you watch it again, it's like, oh, I get it. That's why it happened.
Yeah, I was really confused. Like, I was kind of like, oh, is he like just accepting that he was just stabbed? Okay.
That makes sense.
And then they talk about how he just doesn't feel pain, and like, I actually really liked Ajax. People were kind of ragging on him for not being that big of a super villain. You know, like they said, oh, he needs to fight someone bigger. But like, I thought he was perfect because the reason that they hated each other was because Ajax literally just hates Wade Wilson's or like Deadpool's personality.
Yes.
Like that's literally why he hates them, is because of all the jokes he made throughout like the process and the fact that he wasn't able to break him.
Yes.
Like, that was fantastic. I was like, you're literally, like, and he hates him because he made him ugly.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's a great relationship of hero to villain. It wasn't
Yeah.
just like, you're doing bad things, I have to stop you. It's like, because, let's be honest here, if Wade Wilson had never, like, gone through that, he wouldn't have given a crap about Ajax, you know? Like, he'd been like, yeah, do whatever you want,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Excellent film. It's a great origin story, even though it didn't feel like an origin story, as you said before, because of the it was cut and everything. On a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a 9, and I would definitely want to see it again. And also, another character I want to see again in the sequel is that taxi driver.
Oh my god, I really
the
want.
Pender.
I just want every single time he has to go somewhere, he calls up him. That was, oh my god, that love story.
So many
Yes.
love stories.
I loved Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh, yeah.
And,
She was-
and Colossus.
Colossus.
There was-
Colossus was one of my favorite characters, purely because he just felt like such a dad. It was
Oh, he did.
like, it was like this entire time he's just kind of like disappointed in him, and he's just like he wants him to shape up.
It's like
Oh, but Negasonic Teenage
Yes.
Warhead.
Those characters,
Yeah.
all those characters need to return plus more if they can afford more X-Men.
Maybe if the
They
studio
will.
gives him a little more
Which
money.
they probably
they
will.
will. So
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, this is, to me, I compare this to the first Spider-Man movie because that was, I found, a game changer for superhero movies because,
It started it kind of.
well, X-Men kind of started it, but that's when it got really
They were at the
big.
same time, pretty much.
Yeah. But like how I compare, like, there's been other R-rated comic book movies, just not that
Watchmen.
pop. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Watchmen, 300. I think there was Blade,
Oh
Sin
yeah.
City.
Sin City. So,
Blade, yeah.
but
love
Dead-
me some Wesley Snipes and some leather. Oh yeah.
But then Deadpool was like the first really mainstream, big success rated R movie.
Yeah.
So
'cause-
I gotta say I love this movie. Even after days after watching it, I would give it a 10 out of 10. The only complaint is that I wanted more.
yeah. It was only like what, an hour and
Hour 40.
40
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, I want more, but it's also like, what else could they have added? Because then I look at it like, I walked out thinking it was like it was a perfect movie in terms of like story, script, editing, and then I like thought like, yeah, I want more, but like, if I'm saying it's perfect, if they added more, like, would it maybe that take away from that, like, you know, all of that, like, what could they have added more? Like, because if they added more, then it's adding more for the sake of the audience, and it's like oh, we just want to give them everything that they want. I think maybe the sequel, like, it will probably be just as long, maybe a little bit longer, but like, then I don't want them obviously getting too long with like all of a sudden, because we said, you know, the entire time it was this fast-paced movie. Like if they, you know, I don't want them adding slow parts that are gonna make me kind of sit there being like, yeah, it's funny, but like, let's get to the, you know, action, you know, or like let's get to other parts, you know. I don't want to get in that situation with Deadpool, like, because the entire time I was laughing or like sitting there just like watching some awesome action, you know, like mainly laughing, you know. And I just don't want them adding those parts that kind of make you say like, I don't like how slow that was, you know. And yeah, that's how I want to see a sequel though.
So this was our roundtable discussion of Deadpool.